Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Arts Theatre. Can you please go mental for Jim Jeffrey?
Hey? How you all going? Good. Welcome to the recording of my first ever DVD, people. So thank you for coming. Who's seen me before? Give me a yell. All right, who's never seen me? Okay, you do seem like a happier bunch. Well, as I said, the show's called 30, man. It's just basically a lot of stories heading up to the age I am now. I just wanted to rip off the 300 poster, so it's really got nothing to do with fucking nothing. There's no point in it or anything. I get to travel over this job. Actually, this is the third date on the tour. 2 days ago, I was in Helsinki doing a gig, and we got 600 people came to the fucking gig, but only because they were just like going, "Are you the man who got punched in the face? So good to see you." I love all that shit, though, man. I went to Sweden, man. The Swedish people are the best looking people I've ever seen in my entire life. I didn't see one ugly fucker while I was out there. I think they might be killing the ugly people. Now, I'm not saying they're walking around killing people. I'm saying they're doing it from birth, right? There'll be like a woman giving birth. There'll be like a doctor, and then there'll be like an official guy in the corner, right? The doctor pulls the baby out. He shows it to the official bloke. He goes, "No." The doctor gets the baby's head. Throws it in the corner with all the other ugly dead babies. And they're such a rational breed, I don't think the woman would even be upset. I think she'd just be going, "Was it ugly, was it? Thank you for saving me from the shame. It is my own fault, you know. I shouldn't have had sex with a Scottish man." Hello to the balcony people. I can't see you. I just wanted to know if there were some people up there. Can't fucking... I'll tell you a bit about my family. My 15-year-old cousin has recently become pregnant, and I'm only offended by this as a taxpayer. I think if you can't afford it, fucking cut the fucking thing out, but it's not my problem. My auntie has to take care of it, you know. She's gonna fucking keep it. 15, man, she's gonna fucking keep the thing. When I went to a rough school, right? When I was 14, 15, 16, no one was fucking at my school. Nobody. Not even the cool kids were fucking, right? We were happy with fingering, right? Bring that back. I could finger a girl in February. That'd keep me going through till fucking August, right? These kids today, they all fuck each other. They all get fucking knocked up and they get sex education. I never had any sex education. I didn't even have a sister, me. Right? These kids get sex education on a Monday or a Wednesday, whenever they have it. They're all fucking each other, they're all getting pregnant. I think too much information. I think we should fuck sex education off completely and just start showing these kids pornography from a very young age. At least that way the boys will know to come on the girls' faces. I'm trying to make a difference here, people. My grandmother died, I think went last July or something like that. She was 92, she was meant to fucking die, you know. I would have been more surprised if she did a motocross rally or something like that. Towards the end, she had like 4 strokes and she had dementia. She was just like a head in a chair, really. And she had dementia, or as I like to call it, honesty. Just old people telling the truth, thinking, "I've walked this planet for 92 years, I'm sick of lying to cunts. She's taken my money, that's not my son." And she was meant to die like 2 years ago. She kept on getting strokes. Kept on getting rang up by my mum going, "She's got like 2 days to live," right? So she goes, "You better ring your grandmother, she's going to die any minute," right? So I ring her up and say, "Hey, Grandma, how are you?" And she goes, "Not too good." And I went, "Yeah, I heard that. I hear you're not doing well. Look, Grandma, I'm going to miss you. I love you. I'm sorry you're dying." And she went, "Oh, I love you too, Jim." And then I cried and I thought, well, that's that. And I put the phone down and I went back to the PlayStation, right? And then like 2 years on, she wasn't dead. What do? Do you call back? What's the protocol? Do you go, good for you, didn't think you fucking had it in you, right? Every time she was going to die as well, because my father lives in fucking Sydney and my grandmother lives in Queensland, and he would go up to bury his mum, but because of her not dying, he'd go up there, and every time he had to take time off work and all that, and every time he'd come back down, I'd ring him up and go, did Grandma die? And he'd go, nah, and I go, well, better luck next time. And she's got like 12 grandkids, and we all got the same inheritance. We all got $100. That's Australian. $100 Australian. That's fucking 38 quid, right? That's not even enough for 2 lap dances, that, right? How is her spirit meant to live on? And those people can fucking hang on forever and ever because they're worried about the afterlife. She wasn't going to fucking die. That's the same reason the old Pope, not the Nazi we got now, the one before that, right? He wouldn't... Remember the one that was curved like a banana, right? He wouldn't die because he was religious and evil. Every time there was like a pedophile in the Catholic Church, he would just move them to a different church so that God's not watching, we're okay. We just now, it's all gone a bit weird because I mentioned pedophilia. Don't think that I don't know that pedophilia is a very awkward subject to bring up at a comedy gig at the 5-minute mark of the show. But let's have a go. I've had some personal... I was molested by a scoutmaster when I was young. This is true, he never physically touched me or penetrated me. He used to put me in a corner and masturbate on me, but still, not a great day. And I find pedophilia to be a very awkward... In society, if there's certain pedophiles that we condemn, and then there's other pedophiles that when they do, we don't even notice. We just put it under the carpet and go, oh, don't talk about that. That doesn't... Okay, does everyone know that Elvis Presley was a pedophile? Right? There's no debating this. Elvis Presley had Priscilla Presley move into his house at 14 years of age, whereupon he fucked her, and then married her at 16 or 17 or something like that, right? So Elvis was a pedophile. You happy with that? Right. Charlie Chaplin was a pedophile. He fucked 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 15-year-old girls. Yet there's a statue in the middle of Leicester Square of Charlie Chaplin where you can have your photograph taken with the pedophile. But we forgive them because they're the best in their field. There's never going to be another king of rock and roll, and I promise you there'll never be a better silent movie star. At what point do we as a society go, but they were good? Like, what I'm trying to say is, how talented do you have to be to fuck a kid? Right? Gary Glitter. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, dun, dun, dun. Good song, don't fuck a kid. All right. Back to my grandma. I'll tell you why she's evil, right? When I was 17 years old, I was in a school musical, as you do when you're in high school. You do plays and stuff like that. I was in a school musical, and I got the lead role. And my grandmother came down from Queensland to come and see the musical and stay with us. And she was staying in my room, and I had to kip out in the fucking living room on the couch. So she's there for a little while, and my mum goes, go sing your grandmother a song. And I'm like, you sing her a fucking song. I'm not going to fucking... Go sing your grandmother a song. I'm not going to sing her a song. And then I hear from my bedroom, is Jim going to sing me a song? And I went, yes, Grandma. And you fucking bitch, man. So I walk in there and I go, what song would you like to hear, Grandma? And she said, Stormy Weather. And so I went, don't know why there's no sun up in the sky. And my grandmother looked at me adoringly, as only a grandmother could look at her grandson singing a song. And then I finished the song and I went, there you go, Grandma. That's your song. And I went to walk away, and as I was walking away, my grandmother goes, I'll tell you a story. And I'm like, of course you'll tell me a fucking story. You've never not told me a story. One day I'll get 38 quid and this will all be worthwhile. Right? What's your story, Grandma? She goes, I used to live in this town called Gympie, which is a real town in Queensland. And I lived in Gympie, and there was a showroom, and on a Wednesday, they would have local lads who would come and sing in the cabaret bar. And afterwards, there was a singer who sang beautifully, just like you, and afterwards I got talking to him, he asked me to go for a drive in his car, and he drove me out to the coast, and he laid a blanket down, and we made love under the stars. Now she was about 84 at this stage, telling her grandson this. I'm there going, that's a great story, Grandma. And she goes, and then as I was laying there with the moon glistening off my naked body, I looked up at him and I said, sing me a song. And he sang me Stormy Weather. That's why she was looking at me adoringly. She wasn't thinking of her grandson singing a song. She was thinking of Johnny fucking Showtime fucking her on the beach. I'd made this woman wet for the first time in 40-odd years. So we're all drinking tonight, I hope. It's fucking Saturday, you got to get pissed. It's good for you. I don't like people who don't drink. I don't trust them. I haven't got friends that don't drink. I would stop being your friend if you stopped drinking, because anyone who doesn't drink is a boring cunt, right? If you're a non-drinker, your stories fucking suck. All your stories end the same way with, and then I got home, right? No one gives a shit that you've been promoted at work. No one gives a fuck that your kids don't have bruises. You're a boring dick. You ever ask a non-drinker why they don't drink? They give you the same stupid answer every fucking time. You go, why don't you drink? And they go, I don't like the taste of it. Nobody does! No one likes the taste of it. We drink because we have to, because life's a miserable piece of shit. No one has ever had a shot of tequila and gone, ooh, that's lovely. Next time I'll have that instead of dessert. Told you, life's shit, man. It's all over soon enough. My grandmother has said, man, she was worried what was going to happen afterwards, right? As an atheist, I don't give a fuck about dying. I'm looking forward to it, right? I am, because I don't believe in heaven. I don't believe in hell. I'll just rot in the fucking ground, right? I don't even want the option of heaven. I don't want to exist in a conscious state for the rest of eternity, constantly thinking. I don't like thinking as it is. Where's me passport? Can't punch women in the street. The Bible calls heaven eternal bliss. I don't care how blissful it is. It's eternal. You'd get used to it and then you'd be fucking bored. And what's hell meant to be like? Fire and brimstone, eternal agony? That's what's written in the Bible. That's God's book. As far as I know, the devil hasn't brought out a book. We don't know his side of the argument, right? If you ask me, the devil and God are having an argument, the devil's being a bigger fucking man, because God's just writing shit about him. And the devil's going, I'm not even going to fucking comment, son. You don't want to live forever in a conscious... You don't want eternal life. Life is shit, right? Life is a horrible disappointment, one after the fucking next, right? If you don't think it is disappointing... Right, hang on, I'll do this down... Okay, give me a camera, right? Straight in on my face, right? Everybody do this in the room here. And if you're watching at home, right? Look at the person next to you that you love more than anyone in the world, right? And know that sooner or later, one of you will be dead and the other one will be miserable. It's just something to think about. As I told you, like, the only reason you people are here is because you want me to make you laugh for a fucking hour, because you know when you go back to work on Monday, your life's gonna be shit. And then you'll be dead. And what's meant to happen when you die? You go to heaven, you see a big bright light, you walk towards the light. What's at the end of the light? All your dead relatives. Well, whoop-de-fucking-do. You ever spent a weekend at your grandparents' house? It's fucking shit. Be up there for an hour going, wish all me friends would die. You'd be up there meeting everyone. Hello, Nana. Hello, Grandad. Hello, Uncle who used to touch me. How did you get up here? Oh, that's right, you used to work for the church. I got a very mixed response. Let's have a think about this, right? Okay, I know I've been picking on the Christians, the Catholics, or whatever they fucking call themselves. If you're religious, you're a fucking idiot, right? Point blank. The guy in the cloud and all that, you're a fucking moron, right? Read a science book. Watch a Richard Dawkins documentary, you dumb fucking cunt, right? There is no way creation... What, they just... Adam and Eve fucked each other and we're all... Fuck off, you idiot, right? There was a big ark with 2 animals. How did the fucking slugs get there in 2 days? How did they get there? They came from the 4 corners of the earth. These fucking slow-moving animals never would have fucking made it. How are the polar bears mixing up with the fucking gorillas and shit? Now, please do not think that I'm just picking on the Christians. I think all religious people are ridiculous, right? So let's have a go at all of them, shall we? Jews, what's all that about? What's with the curly sideburns? Where in the Bible does it say, if thou loves me, thou shalt look like a dick? Buddha, you fat cunt. Why would I follow you? You look like you can't take care of yourself. Then there's our Muslim friends. The fucking muzzies are mental. Thank fuck the muzzies don't drink, because they'd be out of control if they fucking did. They just aren't a tolerant bunch, the muzzies. Covering women's faces and cutting clitorises off isn't just a bit of culture, right? It's horrible. It's fucking horrible, right? You can't... The teddy bear. Remember the little teddy bear that was called Muhammad? That lady didn't deserve to be... They wanted to kill her and lash her in a fucking square for calling a teddy bear Muhammad, right? Now, if there's any Muslim fundamentalists in the room, right? You see this microphone? I'm calling it Muhammad, right? And it's fucking gay. It's a gay microphone called Muhammad, and all it wants to do is roll the Quran up and fuck itself up the arse. Now, that joke has limited some of my holiday destinations. But you can't drink there, it's not really a fucking holiday. Fucking coming out, fucking drinking. Look at you people, you're out here and they've given us all plastic cups like we're fucking kids, and you have to spend £3.50 for a pint in Britain and they serve it to you in plastic. But let's be honest, you British people aren't responsible enough for glass, are you? You know what happens when you get glass? One of you gets angry, don't you? One of you will smash the glass against the bar, shove a shard of glass into someone else's face. You're the only nation of people to use the word glass as a verb. Oh, fuck, you come out, go to a nightclub, you get pissed, you go to the toilet, go to wash your hands, but you're not allowed to wash your hands. Why not? Because there's a fucking toilet attendant there. A guy with a metal tray with a whole lot of pound coins on him. A few bits of fucking perfume, a couple of chopper chomps and a bit of chewing gum. And he's ready with a soap. I fucking hate those cunts. I'm not going to give you a pound, mate. I've washed me hands before. I'm fucking good at it, right? It's one of my skills. I'm not the most hygienic guy in the world anyway. I was just sniffing coke off a toilet seat, for fuck's sake. You ever walked out of there and not washed your hands? They look at you like you're scum. I'm scum. You work in a fucking toilet, mate. Tell you a story. I was out in South Africa doing some gigs. I was out there with a gay comedian. He took me to this gay club in South Africa and we took 2 ecstasy tablets each, right? And he's off on the dance floor trying to get some dick. And I'm standing in the bar chatting to a couple of lads I've never met before, and one of them goes, "You're wasted, aren't you?" And I went, "Yep." And he goes, "Do you want to come to the bathroom with me?" Now, as a drug taker, I think he's offering me a line of coke. So I went, "Would I?" Not only did I do that, but I put my arm around him, dragged him off to the toilet and went, this is going to be fucking awesome, man. I went into the cubicle first to wipe the seat down. Then I leaned out and beckoned him in. Now, I don't know about all the men in the room, but I know these days when I get my old fella sucked off, he takes a little while to stand to attention. But he must have really liked me, because he walked in with what I can only describe as a great big black cock. He shut the door to the cubicle. There are now 3 people in the cubicle. Me, him, and the great big black cock. Just to give you dimensions of the man, he's this tall, he's this wide, the cock's erect, it's poking into my stomach. I look up at him and I go, I thought we were going to do some coke. And he went, do you want some coke first? I only want coke. Now, I can see how with your accent you may have mistaken that for cock. Now, I'd like to say that something funny happened after that. All that happened was I told him I wasn't gay, he apologised, he went out and he bought me a drink. But for the sake of comedy, he raped me. Now, I'm going to talk to you a bit about me dad. Me dad's a weird cat, right? Good guy, he's not a cat. My parents made me get a job when I was like fucking 12 doing a paper round because there was no mines in Sydney. And I had to go around the suburbs and deliver papers. And at the end of the day, I had to go to the news agency and empty all the bins out the back of the news agency into a big metal skip. And it was a fucking cunt of a job. But the only good thing about it was, at the end of the month, they used to throw away all the magazines I hadn't sold. So there was mountains of porn, right? So I would collect these porn mags up, fill me backpack up with them, go home, take the porn mags to school, sell them off for $5 a magazine. I was making more out of my porn empire than I ever did out of the paper round, right? Now, I had a drawer under me bed that was 4 foot by 2 foot, which I packed full of porn. One day I come home, my room's been cleaned, it's fucking spotless, right? First thing I do is I run to the porn drawer, right? I open it up, empty, right? Go out to the living room. Now, my mum's out there sitting in a chair. Now, did anyone have a parent that had their own chair? They were the cunty parent. They were never the nice parent, right? If you're a parent out there and you have your own chair, you're a fucking Nazi dick, right? Stop being such a fascist. Sit somewhere else. You don't control the world. So, my mum looks at me and she goes, I cleaned your room. And I went, yeah, thanks for that, Mum. But then she never mentioned anything, right? A week later, I'm out in my dad's shed and I'm hammering a nail into the bench, right? For no apparent reason, but he's a carpenter, right? If you put a nail into the bench, if he puts a table up there or something, that'll fuck the finish, right? Just being a dick. Under the bench, I saw all my porn magazines, but they were all like wet and bent and had lettuce leaves on them and stuff like that, right? What's happened is my mum's cleaned my room out. She's thrown all the porn mags out in the wheelie bin. My dad has to take the wheelie bin to the end of the drive on a fucking Wednesday. He's opened it up and gone, oh, hello, collected them all up. He's gone off to his shed and wanked himself stupid. So I thought, fuck that old cunt. So I collect them all back, take them back to the drawer where they belong. Circle of life continues. Now, a few days later, I'm out in the living room, and my old man walks out and goes, you been out in my shed? And I went, yeah. You're not allowed those magazines. Neither are you. Can I have 4? To this day, if you go out to my fucking parents' house, man, there are 4 porn magazines out in that quality early 90s material. My fucking, I'll tell you this good story. When I was at the Edinburgh Festival, not this festival, the festival before, I was having a wank and I felt like a lumpy, fleshy thing on my cock that wasn't a wart or a cyst or anything I'd had previously. And I went to the doctor and the doctor looked at it and sort of went... Another doctor and the 2 of them looked at it and just... I don't fucking have any idea what that is. So they sent me off to a specialist. The specialist puts my genitals into like a clamping machine. And it turns out that I have a tumour growing on the side of my penis. Now, I go to the doctor. Do many people die from this? And he's like, nah, most people detect it pretty quick. They don't leave it to chance. And now, as I said, no one dies from this. It's very rare. And I'm not famous, but I'm on telly a bit. I might be the most famous person ever to have this condition, which means I'll have to become a spokesperson. And I'll be doing adverts going, hi, I'm Jim Jeffries. I'm a comedian. But you know what's not a laughing matter? Dick cancer. Do you know that 2 people die from dick cancer a year? This must be stopped. There are many ways to detect dick cancer. Wanking. That's it, really. Please buy a ribbon. Now, while I was out at the Edinburgh Festival, I was with a girl for 3 years, and I never cheated on her, but I did cheat on her twice during the Edinburgh Festival because it's a festival. And when I went to the doctor, I was worried that it was a sexually transmitted disease. I think I'm the first person ever to high-five a doctor when he says you got cancer. I was fucking well up for that. I was like, cancer, fucking yeah! Because you come home with herpes, she'll kick you out of the fucking house, right? You come home with dick cancer, she'll make you a cake or something real nice. And God bless her, I loved her to bits, but we're broken up now. I can say this, she wasn't bright, she was a thick girl. She would not have sex with me until the tumour was removed because she was worried it was contagious. I'm like, it's not contagious, it's fucking cancer, all right? Let's just enjoy the width while we have it. You girls know I'm right. You haven't had sex till you've had tumour sex. I said, it's not contagious. It's not like we got it from a tit wank from Kylie Minogue. Yes, look, I understand that joke is wrong on many levels. The main level being that Kylie's tits aren't big enough for a tit wank. Even with the lump, they couldn't have gotten that much bigger. Don't be upset with me. I'm a cancer patient. So anyway, I go into the surgery to get it taken out. They lay me down on the table. They put like a metal frame up with a curtain. And the doctor puts a needle into my dick. And there's a nurse, and her sole job is to take all the blood away from the sliced up cock. And there's another nurse, and her sole job is to hold my hand whilst my cock is being sliced up and to distract me from the mutilation. And she's holding my hand and she looks at me and she goes, so, I hear you're a comedian. And I went, yeah, I'm a comedian. Why don't you tell us all a joke? Why don't you fuck off? And then they put like 6 stitches into my cock. Like these aren't like the big ones they use like on your head or your arm. These are like tiny, fine, small ones that they use like on babies' arms. And the doctor tells me not to get an erection for 3 weeks. I was fucking moody. I wasn't a good kind of beer, man. The end of the 3 weeks, I was ready for my comeback wank. I hadn't even touched my cock. I tried not to think about my cock. My balls had never been so full in my entire life. In fact, the stitches dissolved and I told my girlfriend they were still not dissolved so I could have a wank before I fucked her. I put some porn on and I got some lube, right? Now, ordinarily, I'm not that fancy. I'm more of a dry hand sort of guy. But I thought, it's been a while, Jim. Treat yourself. So, I lubed up my cock, and I'm talking 5 pumps maximum. Just... And out of my cock came this thick gelatin-like cum. It was like it was trying to make a baby without the womb. And I looked at it, and I swear to God, it fucking looked back at me. So I shook its hand. Anyway, that's all I have to say about Dick Cantor. Except, don't you think that Dick Cantor sounds like a war correspondent? Like a guy from the news that you'd really trust? That's just me. I've done gigs out in fucking Baghdad and Iraq and all that. I've been out there, man. It's fucking mental. When you go out there, you realise that the other team don't really know they're involved. Like all the other old wars. You can say what you want about the Nazis, but they always look good, right? You can always pick them out of a crowd, right? This enemy, the Taliban, I can't. They don't have an outfit. And I was there on the first day. Well, not the first day of the war, the first day I was there, and I was in a helicopter flying over the top of Baghdad with my helmet on, my bulletproof vest, thinking I look as cool as fuck, right? The helicopter window's open, there's a guy with a gun just sort of scouring the ground, right? I look out, I see a little bloke with a handgun just shooting up at the helicopter, just bang, 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 bang. And I fucking freak out, right? I'm like, oh, fuck, we're being fired on. And the gunner turns around and goes, don't worry about it, we're too high up. Those bullets can't reach us. And then he went, hey, look at this. And the little cunt died. And I was like, I was just saying. Didn't want to upset anyone. Fucking mental, man. I get so desensitised about terrorism now. I don't even care anymore. The first big one, remember the big one where the planes hit the buildings and the buildings... I can't remember what date it was, but the fucking... And every terrorist attack since then, just fucking... whatever. The one in Glasgow where the guy was in flames and he drove his flaming car into the airport... The first thing that went through my brains when I saw that was, oh, you fucking cunt. Now I'm going to have to put my toiletries in a plastic bag. Take me shoes off, you're wasting me time. Fuck. My brother's a mental case. He's been mental my whole childhood. He can't help himself. He's older than me, but he's just fucking wired wrong. Something in his head. I'm gonna tell you, I've never told this on stage before. It probably won't get on the DVD, but this is just something funny. Me and my brothers were talking. Whenever my mother's a great big fat woman, she still is. She's 18, 19 stone or something. She'd always used to get us to go out and get the washing off the line, and she'd always be in the kitchen going, go get the washing off the line, make sure you fold everything, and yelling at us while we were doing it, right? When I was about 10 and Scott was about 14, and we used to go out there. Whenever we got her underwear off the line, we would get on either end of it and fold it like a flag. like, if that's not funny, nothing is. So, one time, me and my brother at home, right? Just the two of us. And he's about 16, I'm about 12. And my mum and dad are out of the house. And my brother Scott is on the couch. And he looks over at me and he goes, Jim, get me a Coke. And I went, get your own fucking Coke. I'm not going to get you a Coke. And he went, get me a Coke or I'll piss on the carpet. Piss on the carpet, you mad cunt. I'm not going to get you a fucking Coke. Get me a Coke or I'll piss on the carpet. I'm not going to get you a Coke. So my brother stood up, walked to the middle of the living room, which is a longer distance than getting himself a fucking Coke, pulled out his cock, started pissing on the carpet. He's looking at me going, you really should have got me a Coke. Why wouldn't you get me a Coke? Does his fly up, goes back to the couch, doesn't get himself a Coke. So I just fucking left the puddle of urine there. My mum comes home, she's fucking furious, right? Big puddle of urine. She goes, who did this? Who did it? And I went, Scott did it. She looked at Scott, she goes, what did you do that for? And he goes, I told Jim to get me a Coke or I'd piss on the carpet. And my mum turns to me and goes, why didn't you get him a Coke? You know he's fucking mental. I'll tell you another brother story. This one's a bit sad. I don't know. When me and my brother were young, my dad was doing that thing where, you know, when you're being taken to the dump yard, the tip or something like that, when you were a little kid, that was better than going to a football match. That was just like the best day ever. Because you never knew what you were going to find at the junkyard, did you? You'd just be there, standing on the pile of shit, going, Dad, you have to see this. We got to take it with us. It's a fridge. It's only missing a door. So we're loading up all this stuff from out of the garage, emptying old boxes and whatnot. My brother, I don't know, I'm about 9. No, I'm about 5. My brother's about 9. My brother pulls a vibrator out of a box just like this. And my dad does that fucking dad when they're nervous walker. He goes, hey, what you got there? Right? And then Dad goes, oh, I'll take that off you. Now, as soon as we see that little walk, we know that's something fucking important. And we're just going, Dad, what is that? I have to fucking know what that is. I have to know. What is it, Dad? And Dad sees his 2 sons and he sort of smiles wryly to himself and goes, it's a massager. My dad turns it on and goes, oh, that's lovely. Oh. And he goes, we'll turn that off. We'll put that back in the box. We'll put that box way back up here. Won't look at that again. Okay, about a few days later, my brother comes into my bedroom and goes, Jim, garage. And we go to the garage and then we pile all these boxes up. We get the vibrator out. It's about 40 degrees heat. And my brother looks at me and he goes, now you massage my back and I'll massage your back. Now this is a standard old brother trick. Older brothers do this. You push me on the swings, I'll push you on the swings. And what happens is you push them on the swings for like 10 minutes and then they push you for like a minute, tell you it was 10 minutes and that you're retarded and you can't read the time. So we both take our shirts off. Now we're just in our underwear, in the garage, in the dark, with a vibrator. And then I start massaging my brother's back, just. And he's giving it these ones. Oh. And then it's my turn. I get in front. My brother holds the vibrator up. He turns it on, and then he drops it on the ground and goes, you have to put it back up on the top shelf, and then he fucks off. Now, I'm 5 years old. What do? I cry, right? And I pick the vibrator up in the darkness, and I just go... That's when my dad comes in. To see his 5-year-old son massaging his back with a vibrator. And I'm crying. And he comes up and he goes, has Scotty fucked you over again, mate? And I went, yeah. He goes, give it here. And he holds it up and he goes, now you see this? You're not to play with this. This is Dad's. Now that sentence has haunted me. Not that this is mum and dad's. This is dad's. That raises questions I never want answered. Such questions as, why the fuck was it in the garage? Why did my dad's mates never come into the house? I was happy with it being in my mum, but it's more disturbing, that story, than you know. A lot of people find me offensive. And the reason for that is there's a lot of spastics out there. Do you want to know who finds that word offensive? Not the spastics, the people who know spastics, people who are friends with spastics. If you're such a good fucking friend, why don't you bring them out tonight, you fucking cunts? Furthermore, a few years ago, I did 3 gigs for Scope. They rang me up and said, Jim, we'd like you to do our benefits. And I said, are you sure you want me? And they said, you're the only comedian who's ever made jokes about us whilst we're in the room. So anyone who's offended, you can go get fucked. I'm spaz approved. In fact, in their review, they gave me 4 oohs, which... Now, as I said before, if you're friends with these people, why don't you bring them out? You always get some bleeding heart come up to you after a gig going, do you know my best friend is a spastic? Not a spastic, but they... And then you're like, well, where the fuck are they, you bitch? Fucking... I used to work as a disabled carer before I was a comedian. And it was a good job. You felt good about yourself at the end of the day. And I saw some heartwarming things there, man. I saw some fucking miserable things, but I saw some things that made me feel good, man. I got fired for racing them. It sounds a lot worse than it is, right? You say racing retards, that's offensive, right? Call it Paralympics, goodwill. And so... Anyway, I'm going to tell you a good story that came from there. Something nice, right? I think this story is inspiring. You mightn't agree with me, but I took these 2 lads down to the beach with cerebral palsy, right? Not with the power of. It's not like they're magical. You assume they'd have some... The only real magical disabilities are dwarfs. Midgets aren't magical. They're just freakish little people. Don't worry about that joke. It goes over the midgets' heads. Doesn't go over the dwarfs' heads. People underestimate how big their foreheads are and just smacks them in the 14th wrinkle. Anyway, I took these 2 lads down to the beach with cerebral palsy. And we wheeled them down to the beach, and there's that beautiful moment when you're at the beach and you're just looking at the water and the sand where you're eating an ice cream. You go, how long do we stay here for? What's the appropriate amount of time? It's not like they're going to go swimming. And in Australia, you can sunbake topless. So there's a lot of topless women walking around, and you're not meant to look at topless women when they're on the beach. If one woman in this room was topless right now, there'd be no gig. The show would be over. The room would be freaking out. Right? But at the beach, if a girl's topless, you're meant to just act like this is normal and not look or poke. So, anyway, this girl walks by with tremendous tits, right? Now, one of the lads who has no muscle memory whatsoever, right? He's all hawkinged up, right? And... a pair of tits walked by, and I swear to God, he fucking locked on. Like a solid fucking... He did not fucking deviate as she went by. And I was thinking, is this some type of therapy that they've never offered these people? Anyway, so I start thinking right now, as an able-bodied person, I can't stare at tits because someone will punch me in the head. But I think, fuck it, I'm going to start staring at tits. Who's going to punch me in the head? I'm the nicest guy in the world. I'm with 2 spastics, right? So I start staring at tits. Then this big fat-ass woman with just bikini bottoms on with her tits hanging out walks by. And one of the lads turns to the other one. And over the course of 5 minutes, but I'll speed it up for you, goes, There's one for you, mate. Now, it's a lovely joke. It's a joke that we have all enjoyed. Everyone has done that joke with their friends, gone, that's your wife, that is, and we've all had a good laugh. It's not a great joke, but you know what I found heartwarming, what I found inspiring about that? You know what was inspiring? This guy can't wipe his own ass, yet he's too good for the fat chick. The human spirit, my friends. Now, who's watched me getting punched in the head on the internet? It's a lot of fun. I will now endeavour to tell you the actual story of why this happened. A lot of people have written to me and asked if it really did happen and if it was fake. It was completely real. What happened was I was in a comedy club, the Manchester Comedy Store. It's about 450 people here. There was a woman up on the balcony that kept on heckling and heckling and heckling. And I put it down, I put it down, I put it down. And then eventually I went, I'm going to leave you alone now, like your dad did, right? And then I went, it's a shame your grandfather never did. I know, funny, right? Anyway, there was a guy on this side of the room who I assume had some issues with his grandfather. And he took some umbrage on what I said and decided he was going to punch me in the head. But he was an Irish bloke, so he had a full drink. So he waited until he finished his drink and then punched me in the head. But he never yelled anything out. He just sort of put his drink down calmly and went, all right, I'm going to fucking smack him. Now, when he hit me, I was in the middle of my cunt material. So for me, this was a very odd moment for a man to punch me in the head. Now, I'm going to do the cunt jokes for you now so you know that what the mindset I was in when this happened. Starting like this. Women to me are like public toilets. They're all dirty except for the disabled ones. Every single man in this room will admit to being a bad shag from time to time, whether it be through alcohol, fatigue, or just not giving a shit. There's no woman in this room that thinks they're bad in bed, and do you want to know what? Most of you fucking are. The reason you don't know this is because no man's ever told you, because if we tell you, you'll run off and cry because your spirits are weak. Just because I come doesn't mean you're doing a good job. I'm going to come anyway. Sometimes I come so you'll stop whatever the fuck you're doing down there with your nails and your teeth, just put it in your mouth and be a fucking man about it. I've been down on women, I made them come, and you get that one woman, she's not coming, she looks at you like it's your fault. It's not my fault, your cunt's broken. When I was at university, I fucked a chick and all of her friends walked past me and did that. And women think that's the funniest joke in the world. Well, that's not funny, that's hurtful. Next time you think about doing that, imagine you fuck a guy and all of his mates walk past you and go, you never do that again. And you think by doing this, you're teaching me something I don't already fucking know. I'm well aware I've got a small dick. I've measured it. I know how big my dick is to the millimetre. But does any woman in this room truly know the size of their cunt? None of you. And none of you will ever know for sure because no man's going to tell you because we're good people. I know what you're thinking. He's not talking about my cunt because it gets a bit sore during sex. That means fuck all. I've been down a woman for 20 minutes. It's wide open. It's flowing like the Murray River. I put the tip of my cock in. They go, gentle, gentle, gentle. I could shove my fucking head in that. Sometimes fat chicks have really tight cunts. That's a bloody mystery, eh? I think it's because all the fat's pushing it inwards, or when you're fucking them, you just rub it up against thighs and you never actually reach the cunt. That's why doctors say fat women have to lose weight to get pregnant. And that's when I got punched in the head. All right, drop it down, start the film. What's happening? There we go. I think it's because all the fat's pushing it inwards. Or when you... Oh, hang on. Pause. Now, as you may have already realised, I'm a great fighter. You may not have seen the subtleties of what went on there. First punch, I blocked with my face. Then I went into my crouching ninja position, allowing him to punch me in the back of the head, which is the hardest part of the human body, hurting his hand. Now, let's tell about all the characters that are on stage at the moment. The man on the ground bent over, that's me. I'm cowering. The one standing over me is the man hitting me. The other man, he isn't security, he's a punter, just like you people who came to my aid. And I will love this man to the day I die, but not because he helped me, because if you look in his hand, he's still carrying his pint. He, at no stage, thought that he couldn't have a fight and drink. Now, let's play a little bit more footage, please. Stop! We have some new characters. I have already left this scene. I have walked off to the door over there, where I have entered back into the dressing room with a black eye, whereupon the other comedians have gone, how did it go? And I went, it could have gone better. Now, the new people who have arrived, we have a new skinny man who's throwing punches. There's a man in a black suit in the middle there who is the actual security, and the other lads are just punters who are up for a fight. It's Manchester. It's good. Now, you see the guy on the left there? He's brilliant. Because in a moment, what's going to happen is the security is going to hold the man who assaulted me and go, all right, I've got it all under control. And he's going to go, but I've got a clear shot. And the security guy's going to go, yeah, mate, we've got it under control. And he's going to go, ah, come on. And the security guy goes, go on then. Ready? All right, so keep your eyes on him, the man on the left. Play the film.
Sit down. I think, ladies and gentlemen, hang on. I think, all right, ladies and gentlemen, the wanker's gone, all right?
Pause. Now, this is the security footage, so it's very grainy and whatever. So I got given this copy of this tape from the Comedy Store after it happened, right? And I went around to, there's comedians having a party in one of their houses. There's like 20 comedians there. And I come back with this bit of gold. You know, just like you have to fucking see how shit my gig was. Right? And we put it on the player. and we all watch it. And when Tim Clark comes out and goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, the wanker's gone," all the comics said in unison, "But he's coming back out." Now, I do come back out, and I'm about to come out to a standing ovation. Now, it wasn't that good a gig to begin with, but people felt sorry for me. But what you're really going to see is when I come out, you're going to see some of the worst high-fiving you've ever seen. I'm talking, I'm missing hands, I'm grabbing, like, I'm not a cool guy. I just don't have cool in me, right? Well, the other day, someone gave me one of them, and I grabbed their fist. And went, "Hello." You'll know what I'm talking about in a second. Play the tape.
All right, that's not going to help, really. All right. But Jim's going to come back and finish his set for you. So, if you don't like it, you can go. But if you enjoy Jim, stay, because he's going to do another 5 minutes, and please... Ladies and gentlemen, to finish off, welcome back, Jim Jefferies.
Pause. It's a weird thing. I can watch me getting punched in the head over and over and over again, and I'm completely fine with it. But this? Now that's embarrassing. Now, if you've watched this footage on YouTube or whatever web page you've looked at it on, there'll be a little click in the tape where all of a sudden I'll be witty and going, "Why did that guy come up here?" And I'll say some funny things. That's not what actually happened. The man who hit me was obviously Irish because he was yelling at me like he was from the IRA. And he kept hitting me. And when I came out, I may have said some very bigoted things about the Irish, which I regret saying, but as a live show, I feel I should be honest with you so you can see the actual footage of what I exactly said. Now, I wasn't racist because Irish people, it's not a race. Get over it. I was just being a bigoted cunt. You'll understand, I'm not proud of this, but play the tape. Fucking Irish people, eh? Irish people think they have the best fucking sense of humour in the fucking world. They think they're so fucking delightful, don't they? Look at me, I'm dancing just with me legs. It's a heap of fucking shit, you paddy cunt. You go over there and it's have a drink, have a drink, have a drink. You're in Ireland. We all fucking drink in Ireland. Have a drink, have a drink, have a drink, have a drink. Just drive the bus, you fat prick. And get out. Have I been drinking? I've got a fucking headache. Look.
You've got bigger boobs than me, you fat prick.
Pause. We may have edited that bit out as well. Not everyone was happy to see me come back out on the stage. Some people believed me to have big tits, you fat prick. Now, we're not going to play the rest of the tape now. If you're watching the DVD, it'll be on the extra features. What? Let's back up. Take my top off. See, the thing is, ordinarily I'd have a witty answer, but I've recently lost a bit of weight, so I'm not ashamed to do so. Really, is this where you've come? Is this how far we've travelled together? You want to just... There's Stringfellows is 20 metres from here. You want to see a fat, pale Australian? Well, who am I to tell you you can't? That's the biggest cheer you've given me all night! I have played with my father's vibrator. I have sucked a black cock in a toilet. I have been molested for you people. And all you want is my skin. Well, that's what you're gonna do. This is weird. Okay, we're wrapping up right now. We're gonna be out of here in a second. Last night, on a Friday, the room was all men. It was a great crowd last night. You've been good, but they were fucking good. Right? And it was all men, angry young men, and it was like fucking testosterone city. And now, it's couples night. It's Saturday. On Friday, you go out with the guys from work. On Saturday, you take your bird out, right? Obviously, she gets to choose the movie next time. I don't imagine that I'm the bird's choice and there's some guy going, go see Jim Jeffrey say cunt. As long as you can watch Still Magnolias. All I'm saying is, yesterday's crowd didn't go, woo! All right, Brett, how long we got? 5 minutes? Or we can do a bit more? All right, no, we don't want to piss anyone off. Okay, does everyone know that Eddie Izzard's on the stage straight after me? So we can get into a bit of trouble if we run over because I don't want to have the fuck beaten out of me by a 50-year-old man in a dress. Don't think he wears a dress anymore. I'm going to see him in the stairs going up. He's probably staying there. I'm going to go, a bit of a laugh. All right, okay, should we do the sing-along version? Oh, no, it's not enough men. We'll just do normal version. Okay, I've got to get this on tape, and you've probably all seen it a billion times, but I've got to do the egg story, all right? Okay. So, if you have... This is what happened yesterday. We did the... Oh, fucking undid me belt. This is what happened yesterday. We did the egg story, and it was like at a rock concert, like everyone was singing along. Let's try to do it just properly. If you know the punchlines, please do not yell them out in unison, but if you really want to, okay. Right? A couple of years ago, I was performing in the Amsterdam Hilton. Now, in the basement of the Amsterdam Hilton, they have a comedy club, and I was there for 2 weeks. I had 2 days off in my 2 weeks, and I found on the outskirts of Amsterdam, there's a great big place called the Porn Warehouse, which is like a great big Asda. So on my day off, I thought, fuck Anne Frank's place, and I went out to the Porn Warehouse. Now, when I go shopping in Asda, I take a little plastic basket with me. Porn Warehouse took a trolley. It still had the kids' seat, which I thought was weird. Now, I'm loading my trolley full of every bit of porno paraphernalia I can get. I get up towards the till, and there's a massive wall covered in dildos. Now, if you're with your mates, what would you do? Sword fight. But I was by myself, so the most I could muster is like a scene from Star Wars with a thing. Anyway, there's a smaller wall, but just as impressive, covered in rubber vibrating vaginas. Now, whenever you're with your mates and you see one of those, you go, who the fuck would use one of those, eh? But there's always a bit of your brain that goes, wouldn't mind trying that just once. So I got myself the Jenna Jameson rubber vibrating vagina. On the side of the box it said, vibrate so as to give realistic sensation. Realistic if you're fucking a chick with Parkinson's, but not realistic. Now, I'm going back to my hotel and decided if I'm going to have this wank, it's going to be the wank. It's going to be the wank that when I've got dementia, I'll be sitting in a nursing home going, I fucked the rubber cunt! I fucked it. So I put all my porn mags down one side of the bed, I put porn on the telly, I got the rubber cunt out, had a vibe. I put... Hang on. I'm going to fuck it. Put the vibrating egg in the end with the quarter remote control, turned it on, I'm fucking it. Now, it felt pretty good, but I couldn't enjoy myself because the only thought going through my head was, if you die right now, this is how they're going to tell your mum they found you. Now, as I'm fucking it, I don't have a big cock or nothing. I think the rubber cunt was faulty, right? But as I'm fucking it, the latex on the top just sort of tears and the egg falls out the end. And I'm pretty upset because it's not like I can take it back to the shop, slap it on the counter and go, look at that. I bought that an hour ago. Went home and fucked it. Now that cunt's broken. Now I still had a lot of lube, I still had a lot of porn, I still had a vibrating egg. So I did what anyone in this room would do. I lubed that egg up and shoved it up my ass. It's now sitting up against a gland called the prostate gland, the male G-spot. It felt terrific. It felt so good that I was thinking, I'm going to shove other things up my ass once I get back up to England. I slapped me cock a couple of times, I jizzed all over me chest, and now I've got jizz all over me chest, lube all over me cock, egg hanging out my ass, broken cunt in the corner. I gotta tell you, I've looked better. Now, you know that bit of pain that goes through your soul after you've had a wank and you got a bit of cum on your hand and you go, what did you do that for? You're a grown man. Well, I still had an egg hanging out of my ass. Safe to say I wanted to kill myself, so I started slapping the porn off the bed. I turned the porn off the telly. I go to whip the egg out of my ass. The fucking cord snaps off. Not only does it snap off, the two plastic shells of the egg slightly break apart and now pinching against me colon. Now your first thought is, well, don't worry about this, Jim, you can shit this out, but your asshole knows what shit is and it knows what plastic egg is and it don't fucking play cricket in this experience. Now, I don't know if you all know a lot about your colons, and nor should you, but they're made up of several channels that pump poo through. Now, I've lubed up this finger and this thumb, and I've gone up my ass after the egg, but with every grab, I've pushed it further and further and further up my colon. It's now up to channel 5, and we all know how shit that is. My next thought was to get a whole lot of high-fibre food, make me poo really solid, and push the egg out through pressure. Very similar to when Augustus Gloop got stuck in the chocolate tube in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I was working on Wonka method at the time. I could have done with an Oompa Loompa with a plunger. Now we have to get going, so let's just jump forward to day number 3. I decided if it was up my ass for another day, I was going to go to hospital. My biggest fear was going to hospital in a foreign country with my accent and going, you'll never guess what's happened to me, mate. But being Holland, there's a good chance you could go, you have an egg up your ass? Go join the queue with the other Australians. On day number 3, I had a Chinese dinner, and I'd kept me chopsticks. Now, I've gone back to the hotel. I've bent over. At this moment, I've thought to myself, you probably should have gone to the Anne Frank Museum. I put one chopstick on top of the egg in a crowbarring fashion. The other chopstick I used to widen the hole. In one motion, I snapped this egg out of my ass, followed by 2 feet of shit. It was at this moment I thought to myself, should have done that in the bathroom. That's it. We gotta get out of here. Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that if you're on the guest list, there's a bar downstairs. Or is that for everyone, Brett? Well, fuck it. You don't have to be the guest list. We don't even have to go to the bar. We can all just walk out as a unit. And we can just fucking terrorise some fucking kids in the street who bother you at the station and go, fuck you, you little cunt. I got 300 middle-aged people. Come over here. I wanted to do sluts and studs, Brett. I can't. Huh? Right. We'll finish on this joke. Okay, I've got this new theory, right? every time a woman sleeps with a lot of men, she's called a slut. But if a man sleeps with a lot of women, he's called a stud. And people have always said this is unfair, right? I'm here to tell you it's completely fair. I'll tell you why. Because it's fucking easy to be a slut. It's fucking hard to be a stud. Right? There are fat, ugly sluts out there. There are no fat, ugly studs. I have met slutty dwarfs. I have never met a stud dwarf. Maybe in their own community, but none that have ever crossed over. To be a stud, you have to be good-looking, charming, a good liar with a fake job. To be a slut, you just have to be there. I'll tell you a story. I knew this girl who... I went out with her, and her biggest claim to fame was that she went backstage and fucked an entire member of a very famous band. There was like 5 of them, and she fucked all of them. And I said, why did you do that for? And she goes, well, they're my favourite band, so I let them. That is the privilege of the slut right there. I can't go backstage at a Girls Aloud concert and go, I love the last album. Do what you want. Except the ginger one. Get me a fucking beer. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. See you soon. Bye-bye.